Hello everyone, Owen here, and I just finished the new locomotive. I wasn't very giving any ideas of when this was going to happen, although I did post a picture of it on my channel on Instagram. So those of you who saw that, I'm doing a review video now. The engine I'm going to be reviewing and I made is a very, very unique and rare locomotive. If you counted already, this is a Grand Trunk Western 082 locomotive, and I actually have a very good passion for rare locomotives, and I like to build them a lot. This took me not long actually. I was pretty committed to it, and it was finished about 3 weeks or so, compared to the M1B, which took about 10 months, basically because I slowly was working on it. But I was committed on this one, and it turns out really great. So I'm going to talk about the engine first and the tender, and then I'm going to do one other little mock, and then we'll stop there. Again, this was a very rarely seen locomotive, and was a very, and the only railroad I know of that used these besides Canada was the Illinois Central, which used a couple. Here, I'll pull up an image for you guys to see that. There. And so there's two pictures of this I found on the internet. One of them is of this guy in 1953, and he was in his yard and he saw one. Now these locomotives are called Queen Marys, and they were very smooth riding locomotives because of the one trailer wheel in the back of the cab, so it gave a smooth ride. However, you'd feel bad for this guy because the firemen had a very tough job on here because the firebox had no stoker, so it was very hard, and it was a very long boiler too. So that sucks. But it's a very pretty locomotive, and I'm glad how it turned out. It is not motorized, and it is using the smallest kind of wheels that have the holes in them from Big Ben wheels. And let's talk very briefly about valve gear and the detail around that. You'll notice that I didn't finish the valve gear because it was very hard to make a valve gear on this locomotive. And I did try and go to trainbricks.com and order some custom-made bricks there. Then it went really bad because for 3 reasons I couldn't get the rods were: A, they took 3 weeks to make, then they were shipped, and as well, they were very pricey. And finally, you had to be 18 years or older, which is total crap. And I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. And the total bill would have been $25, and I was like, that's not worth it. So, no valve gear, and you can see I had a little stud trying to make the bars reach out. But this is as far as I got. So if you guys have any comments down below of how I can improve this valve gear, please let me know. I do know about that method with the thinner version of these, just overlapped. That's a handy method. So I'll try that. I can go get some bricks somewhere. But for now, if you have any ideas, please let me know. And the rest of the detail, just pipes. Hold on. And then I'm kind of proud of this little boardwalk that goes along. This turned out great. And then just some of my details. It's front and the boiler. So the boiler took some time. It required around 80 cheese slopes because I used Kale Leiphart's cheese boiler to make this engine. For the front, I like these pistons, their design. I mean, this engine isn't very, it's like the Mogul. It's not actually motorized, so it's mostly just for show, but you know, it does move. And then we got the detail, coupler, I don't know what you call this. Then the little gold thing is the builder's plate. Got the bar going along here, some steam. And this thing right here is Grand Trunk Western steam locomotives sometimes have this triangular thing pointing out showing the numbers. They're also shown right here. So the top has some nice detail. I actually looked at the image and saw how these were all in order. Don't know what you call this, but they're on locomotives with tiny little high-pitched noise. Whistle, steam dome, sand dome, bell, And that's about it. Let's take a look at the cab. I am very, very happy with how the cab turned out. For those of you who are interested in this cab, it is actually a 7 wide cab. That's a little odd, but it takes a kind of an effort because you gotta have this one. It's an odd stud, so it's kind of hard, but it turns out amazing. And I love the inside. And first, before we go inside, we go on the quick outside. Minifigure plate, and I could add the 4 numbers. I think it was like 3, 2, 5, and another 3 or something. Got the handlebars going down. I don't have a step going down here yet. I'll get to that. And then you'll notice that this is familiar. This is in that Lone Ranger train set. It's got a little lantern in the cab, and I was like, that's a cute little detail. I'm gonna add that. I got an odd white cab. I can easily do that. So that looks good. And then the tender is just hooked up by this little pin, kind of like that. So that's that. While we're at the cab, I'm just going to show you the trailer wheel. The trailing wheel was hard, and it's a little off level almost. So it's kind of hooked up like that. It's different on the other side, not too much though. So that's that. Now let's go inside the cab. I don't want to damage it too much, so we're just gonna turn around here, and I'm gonna try to get some lighting in there. There we go. So a couple levers. That's the brake, throttles over there, that big gray ball, gauges, and very, 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 very hard to see. It's the firebox door. It doesn't go all the way. Then I'm gonna hold the camera just for a bit, and I want to show you this little detail. The shovel, and then I'm proud of this little red gauge up there, and I like that a lot. Good thing about the odd cab is there's a 1 stud gap between the 2 seats, and there's a shovel for the fireman. So that's the cab. Now let's look at the tender. The tender was actually built before the actual engine because I wasn't really sure where to start off with the engine. Actually, I didn't mention this before, but the engine was going to have 4 wide boiler instead of a little bit less than a 6 wide boiler, which is the cheese slope boiler. And that did not look very well, so I changed it. And I was like, the cheese boiler isn't gonna look too nice. And then I was like, wow, that looked really, really, really nice. So if you're building a locomotive at home, I do recommend the cheese boiler if you're making a large locomotive like mine. I think the maximum you would make for a 4-wide boiler would be like a 262. Beyond that, you might want to improve your boiler to cheese slopes or just slopes. Anyway, the tender. Tender has some very, very nice details. Grand Truck Pacific is just from paper. I just cut that out and tilted it. And then I got the coal up there. There were handlebars. And then back here got the headlamp, and that's connected very kind of almost cheating, kind of, not really. But it's just inserted like that into the studs. Just push that in. And then it's just held up by these antennas. Then I was like, the back doesn't look very good, so I'm not having a ladder. I mean, it's kind of pointless, but I had a ladder lying around and was like, I'll put that there. Coolest detail of the tender has to be the water tank. So if you look there, there are little water studs inside, and it's surrounded by blue bricks. I just filled it with transparent ones, and I was like, if I wanted to take this to the next level, I would actually add real water inside. And my brother said, but that would leak. And I go, exactly, that's a good detail. I mean, like, it's not gonna melt or anything. Like, it's like waterproof entirely. So that's a tender. I might upgrade the wheels at some point. So quickly, I'm gonna show you the extra little mock. You guys didn't think I was just gonna make all trains, did you? I make some vehicles, of course. So here we have is a little mechanics 30s truck. Car experts or truck experts would know what kind of truck this is. I have no idea. I just kind of thought of a 30s truck, and that's what I came up with. It's kind of a pickup truck almost in the back. Back is where I started. And we got little wood planks for the sides. And the mechanics got a toolbox. I'll bring this up. It's got a toolbox and a little it's got 2 wrenches. It's got a little oil squirter. Down here, little detail is the Out of Time from the Back to the Future set. I was thinking that's the coolest it's got. And I know it's not in California, it's in Canada. But I mean, trucks travel. But it looks good. It's the most realistic license plate I got, and it looks really great. Simple wheels. Just inside there is the guy driving. It's got little steps. The grill is pretty difficult. It's actually just that, but you don't push down the second stud. You kind of tilt it up like that. This little detail is kind of cute. The little horn had, because they didn't have like honk honk on the wheel, they had kind of a little horn on the side of the car. So one side's got a rearview mirror, the other one's got that. So for those car builders, that's a little build right there. And in my next video, or some video next time, will be a quick build video for tiny little builds you can guys quickly put together. I'll put like I made a little motorcycle sidecar, so that'll be in there too. And that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and please comment down any ideas for future builds or anything I can add to this engine, although I think it's quite detailed on its own. And if you guys have any other builds that you want to build, and I can easily help you guys, I know some people as well. Other channels like mine are seen in my channel area. That's about it. So I'll see you guys next time, and the next video will either be quick builds, or I might do some other trains, although they are from another country. See you guys.